Welcome to Movie Mayhem here at Suspiria Works Cinema, where we watch all the movies. Today we're doing a series review of Rocky. With Creed coming out, I think it's kind of an important time to let's look at Rocky, where Creed came from. Rocky is really an important film in that it was a true grassroots effort. And I don't think you get a lot of that anymore with this type of scale. I mean, you get, especially horror films are always going to be that way, but, this was something that Stallone had slaved over for years, trying to get this thing up and running and sacrifices, and he was a nobody. And he comes out with this movie, gets him recognition, and he goes on to be a superstar. Everyone knows the story of Rocky, so I'm not going to bother explaining the story here. I think, the first Rocky movie, and what makes it work so well, and the character Rocky, is he's relatable. Very relatable. All the characters are relatable, they feel very human. And honestly, through the whole series, that's kind of one of the important parts of this. They really feel human to you. Stallone didn't direct the first one, or the fifth one, but he had a hand in writing all of them, of course. It feels like a natural story. I feel like I'm growing with Rocky throughout all these movies. Obviously, the first one is what it is. We all know it. Fantastic theme music. The training montage. This is where training montages came from. Done right, done perfectly, needed to be there. Everything's spot on. There's really no faults with Rocky. I can't think of any. Honestly, the movie's great. This is the Blu-ray set where they've redone all of them. They're all fantastic. This is definitely the set to get. And there's a ton of extras. So as far as the media, that's fine. So the original Rocky, fantastic film. Rocky 2. How do you follow up Rocky? Well, instead of just making a rehash, the story continued, but in a very organic manner. We got more of who is Apollo Creed, and this friendship establishing between them. And it works. This is one of the odd, like a series of movies where every movie is just so good, and it feels so well. You feel like you know what's gonna happen, but you want to see the characters develop and get to that end point. So again, Rocky 2, amazing. Nothing bad about it. Now we get to Rocky 3. So at this point, Sly's got a lot of money rolling in, kind of excess going on, right? Rocky 3 to me is the weakest one. It's also really short. It's the shortest one. It's lacking what I mentioned in the first two. The natural, organic character growth with each other, the friendships, the bonding. It's missing a lot of that. Clubber Lang is, he's an unstoppable monster. He's kind of just an ass. But it does help. It does help solidify in the series the bond between Creed and Rocky. And I like that. I think it works. It's good as a setup to the fourth one. As a standalone film, I find 3 by far the weakest. It's missing something. Since he based on the real character, the wrestling thing is kind of cool. And for the period, it's kind of cool. So it's still a very fun film. Don't get me wrong. I guess I should knock off some ratings here. I can't fault Rocky 1 or 2, so I gotta give them 10s. They're perfect movies to me. I enjoy them wholeheartedly. 3, it's still fun, but I do not find myself putting it in that much, so I would go with a 7 on that one. Now we got Rocky 4, where the unstoppable Swede plays a Russian, and this is when this came out. It's a Cold War. It is a Cold War film. It's so inherent of its time that it's interesting. It's like a nice time capsule to watch. Now, as a film, I think he makes up for a lot of what was missing in 3. We get some of that back. Of course, it's very over-the-top patriotic. But again, at the time period, I think that's acceptable. But this is kind of, Rocky's kind of slacked off, and now he needs to come back for his friend. But one of the nice emotional things they deal with is Apollo's his need, his thirst for the famedom. I like how that was portrayed, and it felt, again, human. I believed this, I believed he would want to do this, and I believed Rocky would say what he wants. I like, no, don't do it, man, don't do it. Because Rocky has the soul of Adrian, kind of, the angel on his shoulder, like, don't do this, I don't want to lose you, I don't want you to be hurt. And with when he's going against revenge, against the, against Drago, it's great. It's such a fun film, and at the end of it, you're just like, yeah! And honestly, if boxing matches were like they were in Rocky, I would watch every one. Because it's just dudes in human stamina, which makes them good. I like that. There is a difference between realistic and entertainment. Whereas like a Raging Bull is way closer to realism, Rocky, while realistic boxing, the level of stamina that this man can muster is a bit on the insane side. But it makes it very exciting. You get tense. Even though who Rocky's going to win, it's still tense. So, Rocky IV was a gigantic success. And for whatever reason, many, many years went by before we got to Rocky V. Now, Stallone stepped down as director again for V. And we get another movie. Now, first, let me say, Rocky V is the ending to the Rocky series. I would totally agree that would suck. It just doesn't work. However, as a stepping stone, knowing you're going to get to watch Rocky Balboa afterward, I have a new appreciation for the film. I really do. This last time I watched it, I was like, okay, yeah, because the first time I saw it, it was like, wait, this is the end of the Rocky series? This is kind of lame. And I like what it deals with, again, the human aspect. This deals with a lot of, how his kid feels and Rocky dealing with moving on. And what does he do? And this guy, he so wants to feel it again that he gets totally duped by, effectively, a hanger-on, a user. And it shows kind of the sliminess of the agents and managers. And I really like that. I think the ending works very well. I think the movie as a whole works well. I don't find it as good. Oh, wait. So Rocky IV, I'd give a 9. And 5, I'm going to go back to a 7 again. I put it on par with 3 in the context of the series. Mind you, as a standalone, it just doesn't... Because you already have to know the characters. You have to care about them. And the knowing that this isn't the end really helps the story. And then we have Rocky Balboa. Stallone making his directorial comeback. Rocky Balboa has some of the best dialogue in a film ever. I mean, the speech he gives his son, the whole thing, it's not how hard you can hit. It's how hard you can get hit and keep on coming. That whole monologue, that to me it's brilliant. Every time I hear that speech come on, it's like, wow. I mean, and it culminates. This is a man who's gone through all this, and he's dealing with different stages of his life, and the way Stallone was able to formulate this script, it's fantastic. I mean, Rocky Balboa, solid 10 as well. Now, this may sound like heresy, but to me, it is my favorite of all the movies. And I'm going to give them the same rating. 1 and 2 are still fantastic films. But Rocky Balboa, again, it speaks to me a lot now. And that's, as you... one thing that I've mentioned before is I never suffer nostalgia. I don't feel that with movies, ever. It's something... I don't really feel it with anything. Either I like something or I don't, and I kind of view it a little bit detached, especially when I look at films. But every time I watch Rocky Balboa, I appreciate it more. The message and the ending is absolutely perfect because it didn't matter if he won. That's why he just leaves. He won. He stood there and did it. And this is something, he just wanted to go the distance, which was harkens back to the original Rocky. That's all he wanted, and he did it. You know, he stood up for what he believed in and what he needed to do. And man, that's a fantastic film. It really is. You can tell I kind of like the Rocky series. Interestingly, I'm not a huge boxing fan at all. So that is, you know, I was talking to somebody watching this, they're like, well, I don't like boxing. It's boring. I'm like, no, trust me. These are good movies even if you don't like boxing. And guess what? They loved everyone. There's two types of sports films. Ones that you will appreciate if you're into the sport, and others that it doesn't matter, like a Rudy. You know, it doesn't matter if you like football at all. Everybody wanted Rudy to catch that. You know, that kind of thing. This is a film that transcends what it's about, and it's about human emotion. It's also something very rare that you'll see in films. It was about male emotion. A lot of that gets glossed over, either because it's action movies, or the only time you see male emotions are in like chick flicks where they're told from like a Cosmo perspective, and as a man you're watching it going, no, that's not really how my brain works. This is a male Beaches. Let's put it that way. Like, you can get the feeling out of it. It's got enough testosterone in it that you're that part of you can enjoy it, but it's also got those emotions and feelings that I think Stallone was really able to capture. So Rocky, awesome. I mean, we all thought of Rocky. I don't think there's many people out there that hate Rocky. But, you know, any other series you want to check out, let me know, and we'll see you here next time in Movie Mayhem.